Oh, Ayman, Ayman, and my pronouns are he, him.
And Ayman, why are you here today?
I'm here today in solidarity with everybody else to mourn the loss of our public park, our public voice. Mitch basically sent a small army and created an occupation sort of feeling out here in Sunset, when before that we had a feeling of love and community. The force Mitch brought out to tear apart our community was enough to raid villages in other countries. So we're out here to mourn the loss of public voice and public will.
And
our park.
I know that you were one of the last to leave the park. I guess first, could you take me through those last few hours, what that was like?
We woke up to the surprise of one of our neighbors, Jerome. He had nowhere else to go, so he roamed his way back in, and it was unfortunate because he really didn't know what was going on. And when he eventually left the park, it was just down to me and David Bush, and we were just there in this weird state, limbo state, not knowing what was going to happen. 10:30, they swooped in and arrested us, and it was weird. I don't know, the whole thing was weird.
Got it. How are you feeling, right? Like when you think about today, what?
When we passed by the part where the garden was and where the bathrooms were and where the kitchen was, so much love went into it. So much love. Everybody put their hands on it. It was a housed and unhoused effort to unify, and now it was all torn up. It was all torn up by a councilman whose job should be unification, whose job should be bringing the community together, and instead he just dropped a small armada on us.
I saw while there were a lot of protesters, I saw you and David in the park, and I'm not sure who yelled Echo Park Rise Up. Take me through what it was like watching all of those protesters while you were still in the park.
Man, it was so crazy because all we heard was first the sirens and the police everywhere and the helicopters, and we were communicating with some of our organizers out there, and they were saying they were dropping noise. They were going low on the helicopter so people couldn't even congregate or talk to each other. They had people squared off, but from our perspective, it really seemed like an army was coming in to shoot y'all, because they were coming in like groups of 20, 10 and 10, coming in, refilling the line. And from our perspective, it was like, guys, watch out. They're coming deep. They're coming deep. Like, it was truly an occupational raid. Like, he sent the amount of force and firepower they had can conquer countries.
This is the question that I hate asking, but I've been closing up this project a little bit. What are you doing now as far as a sleeping situation?
Well, me and my boy Lance and our animals, 2 dogs and a cat, we're up at Griffith Park. We got a sleeping bag. I mean, this is everything I own. I don't have anything else now. He took everything. So, I mean, we're used to it. We've been unhoused for a while, so we're just outside. We're at Griffith Park in a sleeping bag. And I don't know where everybody else is. Everybody else is scattered.
I'll talk to you when the camera's off about that. I got some news for you.
Okay, cool.
In 10 years, what are you going to think of when you think of Echo Park Rise Up?
I don't know. I've got a strict sort of policy not to think 10 years ahead. I really don't, because what I found is when you're outside and unhoused, people expect you to have your next 10 years figured out. They expect you to have your next 3 months. In 3 months, I would have got a job and got a house already. No, you wouldn't have when the city makes your life illegal, when you have nowhere to shower, nowhere to eat, no stable place to stay. You wouldn't have got a job in 3 months. Y'all don't know. It isn't poverty or being unhoused that's difficult. It's the fact that it's criminalized by the city and Mayor Garcetti and Mitch that makes it difficult. So, I really don't think the 10 years ahead. I'm just trying to take it day by day.
One question I've been asking everybody, I think I know the answer, and please elaborate on why your decision was. Were you offered Project Room Key?
I was not personally offered
You were
Project
not?
Room Key. Nah, they stayed away from me. I think they've labeled me as an activist or organizer, but the reality is I'm unhoused with my neighbors, and we were just loving each other. That's all we were doing. And love is colorful. It's not a mowed lawn and a high bob. It's colorful when you got all these different personalities and perspectives, and there's ups and downs, and we made it work. And that was sheltering. Project Room Key is not an adequate alternative to what we had. A minimal security prison with 7 to 7 curfews that takes away your agency and dignity, that COVID tests you 3 times a day like you're a diseased, decrepit creature catching COVID every time you leave, that you can't even open your door, they gotta open it for you. And then the way in which they speak to you like you're an unintelligent child. They patronize you. I've seen them patronize my neighbors. All you got to do is not look with the lens and hear with your ears, and there's intelligence coming out of these voices, these unhoused voices, but y'all are choosing to treat us like simple children just so you can get your stipends. I'm not part of that program. What we had was an adequate alternative, way better than anything they could offer. A genuine, stable community where someone can leave their tent, come back all day and have it still be there, where you knew your neighbors, where we were trying to put dignity back so people could shower every day and have a kitchen, but he just tore it all up. And now people are being mowed around like sheep rather than the adults, intelligent adults that they are.
I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow, but any final thoughts for today?
Mitch may have took the park, but he has not taken our community. Clearly our community is still strong. We all love each other. We don't know each other by name, but we know each other by spirit. We know that we just want to live copacetically and peacefully together, and that's what unites us. And Mitch and his team, they just don't understand that.
Thank you, Ayman.
All right, cool.
Turn off the